Greetings! Welcome to Common Good Atlanta's Writing Studio training videos. My name is Owen Cantrell, and I'm the site director at Phillips State Prison in Beaufort, Georgia, and currently serve as the Associate Writing Studio Director of Common Good Atlanta Writing Studios. In this series of videos, I'll introduce you to some basic concepts of writing-centered pedagogy. You can use these videos to learn more about writing studio pedagogy, as well as remind yourself about some of the basic principles as you're tutoring in one of our facilities. Today I'm going to introduce the conversational model. The conversational model is at the foundation of our tutoring philosophy at Common Good. So what is it? Let's start with the basics. Before we get to the conversational model, let's talk about directive and non-directive tutoring. Directive tutoring is tutoring where the tutor is offering commands to the writer. Do this, don't do that, move this here. The tutor usually sets the agenda for the tutoring session and acts as the authority, usually both on the project and on the subject matter. Non-directive tutoring, on the other hand, is where the tutor is not offering commands, but helping the writer explore their ideas. The writer sets the agenda for the session, and is treated as an equal by the tutor. The tutor's role is like that of the Socratic midwife, to draw ideas out of the writer about what they think about their project. Underneath this directive and non-directive umbrella, we have a few further distinctions worth making. Some other types of tutoring may include instructional, minimalist, and Socratic. In instructional tutoring, the tutor identifies errors in the writer's papers and fixes them for the writer with little explanation for the choices in revision that are made. So would this type of tutoring be directive or non-directive? Right, this would be very directive. Writers may be correct in their writing, but they would not understand how or why. Importantly, they wouldn't be able to do it again on their own. In minimalist tutoring, the tutor has little interaction between the tutor and the actual paper they are working with. Instead, the tutor answers the writer's questions and concerns about a project while providing minimal textual input. So would this type of tutoring be directive or non-directive? Right, this would be very non-directive. Writers would be given space to explore or expand upon their ideas, but not necessarily work on evaluating the writing that has already been done prior to the tutoring session. The third type of tutoring is Socratic. In the Socratic model of tutoring, the tutor neither directly addresses the writer's essay nor directly answers the writer's questions. Instead, the tutor constructs leading questions to guide writers to their own recognition of the weaknesses in their writing and how best to remedy those weaknesses. As with minimalist, this is also a very non-directive tutoring style, since tutors are acting as mirrors for the writer to discover their own ideas about their writing. You may be thinking that non-directive tutoring, including tactics such as minimalist and Socratic, is the ideal type of tutoring. In some ways, these tactics are the most useful. However, more directive methods, such as instructional, may also be helpful depending on the writer. This brings us to the conversational model, which prompts the tutor to use a combination of all of these methods. The conversational model focuses on cultivating the conversation with the writer in order to facilitate their writing, avoiding purely directive instruction, although implementing a directive method when useful. The conversational model of tutoring is a less formulaic and more organic approach to tutoring. This method relies on the tutor to determine the appropriate level of directive and non-directive techniques to serve individual writers' needs. The conversational model is like a conversation that you have to vary your tactic to meet the needs of the conversation you're having. Similarly, in tutoring, you may have to vary your tactics when you're tutoring. While some moments may require more directive methods, such as questions of correctness, other moments may require more non-directive methods, such as when writers are learning how to best correct their own writing. Let's recap. The conversational model includes directive methods, such as instructional, and non-directive methods, such as Socratic and minimalist, in order to best meet the needs of the individual writer that one is working with. This is the foundation of the writing studio philosophy at Common Good Atlanta. You may ask why the conversational model is best for working in the various facilities we serve. In tutoring and carceral environments, you're working in a situation rife with a variety of power dynamics. As tutors and teachers in prisons, it should be part of our goal to allow our courses to be a space for writers to discover or rediscover their own agency. In the writing studio, this starts with a piece of paper before the student. This belongs to them, not to the tutor or to the teacher. It's our job as tutors to facilitate student agency by not taking control of what belongs to them. Instead, we guide students towards exploring their own ideas, while also offering helpful guidance and direction towards best practices. For Common Good Atlanta, we believe this method is central to the successes we have had in the classroom this past decade. Thank you for watching the first in this series of Writing Studio training videos for Common Good Atlanta. We'll be releasing more training videos over the next year highlighting a variety of topics from responding as a reader not as an expert, positive feedback and praise, strategies to use during a tutoring session, global versus local responses in peer review, and what is a tutoring philosophy. Be on the lookout for those in the coming year. Thank you for joining me today, and thank you as always for tutoring our excellent students with Common Good Atlanta.